A warm welcome to Podcasts for Business with me, Steve Twynham. Podcast for Business is all about helping businesses to share knowledge, expertise, details of workshops, events and seminars with the wider business community. Today's podcast is brought to you in partnership with Make It York Business. Make It York are committed to finding the right support to help your company start up, grow or locate in York. Their dedicated business team offers startups, growing, established and relocating businesses access to a wealth of information, advice and support, including startup and growth, access to finance and funding, skills and training. There's a property search, international trade and much more. If you'd like more information about this, check out the website yorkmeansbusiness.co.uk. Sit back and enjoy Podcast for Business. In this Podcast for Business, I talk business networking. I popped along to Morley to meet Ian and Tracey Earl, and they joined me to share information about their business networking groups, what makes them different and the success they've had as they are now looking to open, well not looking, they are opening their third group over in West Yorkshire. I talk with Ian and Tracey next on Podcast for Business.
Like to share news about your business, event, seminar or workshop? Simply email steve@stevetwynham.com.
So you may be thinking about business networking. You may be wondering, well, what is it all about? And there are different groups out there as well. So today I'm over in Morley. I'm with Tracey and Ian to find out more about, well, their networking group. Morning to you. How are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. So, Ian, are you going to go first then and tell me a little bit about we're in this wonderful building, what you've been doing this morning then?
I will. Yeah, this morning we've had one of our events. It's about making people feel that it's comfortable to network. It's not a mysterious thing. It's not difficult. And it's about getting people together to communicate, to refer work, to pass on best practice, and all the things that people want to do to help them grow and develop their business.
Because I think people often have been to some networking group in the past, and let's be honest, there are many out there, from the social ones to the really structured ones, and they may have had I won't say a bad experience, but not a great experience, and then they prejudge everything else by that standard, don't they? Yeah. And what you're describing sounds as though you're making people feel relaxed, comfortable, and making networking fun. Does that sound about the size of it?
That sounds exactly the size of it. That's spot on. We're trying to make networking easy. People have got to realise it's not difficult. It's about having a conversation. People have had conversations all their life, but suddenly you put the word networking in front of it, and then people suddenly clam up, don't know what to say and panic. And it's about getting rid of that and making people feel, as I said, people feel comfortable networking, talking to other people and learning about other people and what they do, which is fun.
Which is what it's all about, especially when you put business networking together, that's it. So Tracey, how long have you been going then?
We've been going just over a year now, and we're about to launch another group in Pudsey on Thursday, so we've actually got three venues. So all of our members can visit any of the venues that we have. And it's going well. We've got quite a few members already, and it's great.
And how often do your groups meet?
We meet on a weekly basis now, and then some weeks it'll be twice a week now with the extra one at Pudsey. So
right. So you could go networking twice a week. Yeah. And you're a membership organisation, you say?
We are. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So do people pay monthly for that? Or do they pay annually?
They pay annually.
Yeah.
They can pay in 3 instalments just to make it a little bit easier, because you've not always got a big lump sum of money to put into something. And then there's just a small charge for refreshments when they come to the meetings.
Okay. And one of the things we were just talking over a cup of tea before we hit the button on this, you were telling me about one of the differences is that you have guest speakers in to talk about various things. So tell me a little bit more about that.
What we try and do is, on every meeting that we have a what we call a guest educator, and this is someone where we say, look, you're not here to sell your product or service, but you are an expert in your field, and we expect you to give perhaps some tips, some ideas that would benefit the group, so that they can go away and perhaps try them out and practice them, and then If there's enough uptake or there's enough interest, we'll then say to the guest educator, would you like to come back and do a 2-hour session? We will get people back, get people booked on, and our members get the actual training, 4 sessions once they join for free. So they get 4 sessions for free, and anyone who wants to come on who isn't a member just pays £45 for 2 hours, and hopefully at the end of it they'll go with a lot of useful information that will mean it will help them benefit their business, help them to grow.
Okay. And Tracey, are your meetings breakfast time?
They're mainly 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock?
9 o'clock.
That's a nice lay-in then for some.
Yeah. We do one at Pure Offices, which is at 6:30.
Yeah.
Now, we thought that would be the busier one, but it actually turns out that the 9 o'clock one is the more popular one.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, it is. We were surprised.
Yeah, when we set this up originally, the idea was we'll do the early morning ones because my experience of other networking groups in the past, like BNI, they have the early starts, and I thought, well, everyone's going to want to have an early start before they go to work, and that's not the case. We found a lot of people like the later one simply because they've got family commitments. They can't make the early one. The traffic's probably bad, so it's difficult to get somewhere sometimes. And I think we've found that the later ones are definitely proving to be more popular.
It's interesting, you see. It's interesting. Yeah. And how long do the meetings last?
Well, we meet for half an hour before the actual meeting starts. The meeting is actually 2 hours.
Okay.
So you can come any time up to the start for half an hour and do a bit of open networking.
Yeah.
And then the meeting is 2 hours long.
And do they get a late breakfast then at that time?
Yeah. Breakfast brunch.
Brunch. They get a brunch. Yeah. I was just thinking that. Yeah.
So we have. The meeting starts with introductions, and then a bit later on we break for breakfast, sort of midway, so people get a chance to meet each other again,
network
and have
a bit more.
chat.
And you mentioned when somebody comes back and does this 2 hour bit then. So do they take that whole meeting, or is that a completely separate meeting?
It's a completely separate event.
Right, okay.
It is a training event, so people can, possibly bring their laptops and they can then put that into practice, what they learn in their business, which hopefully will generate them some more business.
We want it to be like practical sessions, don't we? So people can come along. We've had people who specialise in Facebook, LinkedIn, all the usual stuff.
Yes.
Where people have sat around the room, they've had the laptop, we've had the guest educator at the front saying, right, you do this, do that, all right, and everybody has a go. Because I think sometimes that's one of the best ways of learning, isn't it? If you can actually physically do something, you remember it better than somebody stood at the front preaching to you and thinking, you go away, oh, that's a good idea, and you make a few notes and you never put it into practice. So we want it to be as practical as we can so that people do take something away from the meeting, I think.
So you meet weekly, okay? You said you're onto your third group, did you say?
Third group, yeah.
Third, well, congratulations to you then.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, so where's that one going to be again?
That's at Dawson House it's actually Dawson's House.
Dawson's House,
got nice,
in Pudsey, which is near the Pudsey train station.
Okay. And we're here in Morley. This is where you've got another one.
Yeah, Pure Offices. And the other one is at Hope Park in Bradford, which is near the Cedar Court Hotel.
Right, okay.
Just at the top of the M6.
Yeah, top of the M606.
Yeah. Sort of fairly local or fairly close, but near, far enough away to attract different businesses.
Yeah, we've made it. I think the idea is that they're all within a region where people can get to them easily. So once people join, they're allowed to go to anyone they want.
Yeah.
But what we hope is that each one there'll be like a core. So, because obviously some people will prefer to come here, some to Bradford, and some to in future Pudsey. But the idea is that people can swap, they can move from one to the other as well.
Right,
so it gives them the opportunity to meet perhaps different people at different events.
Draw businesses in from different areas.
Yeah.
For them to do.
Now let me ask you this one then, because there are some networking groups that only allow one category in the group, one business category. How do you feel? Are you more generous than that? Should I say?
Yeah, we're much more generous than that. Yes, yeah. We say we allow two per category. That's not to say that as the group grows, we might have more.
I think from a category point of view, we say two, but it's as we've said, we've got people who are in one particular category, but they might only ever come here. So the other sites, if we had two people join those ones, then potentially there could be three. So it depends how we're going to see how it goes, I think, with that. But we try not to be restricted because I think we've had the conversation where we think that people can work together. I mean,
Yeah.
often you can get people in the same industry that do different things within that industry, and there's potential for people to work together if they think outside the box a little bit. So
I think that's one of the biggest mistakes some people make, when they come networking. They're very close-minded and don't think about the collaboration opportunities.
Yeah.
And if they could just open their mind somewhat and look at the opportunities, doors can open immensely, can't they? So,
definitely.
Yeah. So, if people want to find out more about you, then how can they do that?
They can visit our website, which is www.weareinbusiness.co.uk, or we have a phone number, which is 0113 323 1333. There's a lot of threes
There's a lot of threes, Right, okay. And you're all be on LinkedIn as well?
On LinkedIn, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, so watch out for us on all of those platforms. Yeah.
Okay, so look, thanks for joining us today. Wish you well with your launch of your third group. Keep in touch and look forward to sharing more information for you.
And thanks to you too, Steve. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
A big thank you for taking the time out to listen to Podcasts for Business. Podcasts for Business, all about helping businesses share knowledge, expertise, details of events, workshops and seminars. If you'd like to get in touch, you'd like to feature your business or let me know about an event, all you need to do is simply email steve@stevetwynham.com. Also check out podcastforbusiness.co.uk. Podcast for Business is produced and presented by Steve Twynham. Copyright applies.